The Cabinet Council has been convened by President Andrzej Duda for the 13th of February at 1 p.m. This means holding a session of the Council of Ministers chaired by the Polish president. The head of state wants to learn about the government's plans for Poland's key investments, including the central transport port, the nuclear power plant, and the expansion of ports in Świnoujście and Gdańsk. In the case of the budget adopted by Tusk's cabinet and signed by the president, according to the head of state, there were legal doubts related to the correctness of the procedure for passing the law. The issue was the impossibility of participation in the work of the Sejm by MPs Mariusz Kamiński and Maciej Wąsik. Therefore, Andrzej Duda decided to refer the law to the Constitutional Court for follow-up control. And this action was met with harsh criticism from the current government. President Andrzej Duda confirms.
Ustawa budżetowa w niedługim czasie wejdzie w życie.
The budget law will soon enter force. I want to express satisfaction that the government will be able to implement those commitments it has made.
Będzie mógł realizować te zobowiązania, które podjął.
Despite the threats, the money will go to Poles as prepared by the government of Donald Tusk. There are no major problems. We have a budget. The state will function normally. But the Prime Minister is not giving up his attacks on the President. On the one hand, he admits that there are no problems in connection with the budget for the state, while on the other, he warns of unspecified consequences that he believes could result from the President's referral of the budget to the Constitutional Court. The President of Poland, in the interest of his two convicted former or current colleagues, is ready to jeopardize the interests of the state, the interests of the people. The President has to uphold the Constitution, and this Constitution is, according to many constitutionalists, being violated by the Tusk government. The Constitution is clear. Polish Sejm consists of 460 deputies. However, Tusk and the Marshal of the Sejm, Szymon Hołownia, do not recognize Mariusz Kamiński and Maciej Wąsik as members.
Skoro nie mogą, bo są jakieś...
Since they can't, because there are some obstacles put up by the body of the Sejm, well then, there is a question of what principle this Sejm operates on. So here the President's decision indicates a systemic problem, a constitutional problem, which should not have existed at all.
Problem ustrojowy, problem konstytucyjny.
But it did arise because Speaker Hołownia, instead of making decisions based on the binding ruling of the Supreme Court's extraordinary control chamber, only recognizes the unlawful ruling of the Labour control chamber, which had, according to the law on the Supreme Court, no competence to deal with this matter.
Należy przyjąć to do wiadomości i wykonać, bo
This should be acknowledged and
rozstrzygnięcie
executed
sądowe
because
jest
the court decision
ostatecznym
is the final
zamknięciem
closure
sprawy,
of the
co
case,
sugeruje
and the behaviour
zachowanie
of the State
Państwowej
Election
Komisji
Commission
Wyborczej
suggests
jako
this as an
dodatkowy
additional argument.
argument.
However, the State Election Commission apparently recognises, and this is my supposition, that the case is closed because it has not undertaken the procedure for entering into Parliament of the next two MPs on the list in place of those two.
Wstąpienia w miejsca obu posłów następnych z listy.
Nevertheless, Tusk's coalition is not going to back down from its lawlessness. Here no one is waiting for the next episode of the saga of Kamiński and Wąsik. The court has ruled the men are not deputies. They will not participate in the deliberations, period. No amount of blackmail by Mr. President will change that. The right of clemency in 2015 was applied by the President in connection with this. Thus, they should not be convicted. But even if they were, this sentence does not have the effect of depriving them of their parliamentary seats. This is exactly what the Supreme Court said in the control chamber on the 4th and 5th of January, confirming that the gentlemen are members of Parliament, that the right of clemency retains its force, and that they should carry out their parliamentary mandate. This is indicated by Krzysztof Szczucicki, about whom Tusk's Minister of Justice Adam Bodnar has written in the past. I am pleased that my colleague, Dr. Krzysztof Szczucicki, an outstanding criminalist, has joined Twitter. However, Tusk has opinions of lawyers for nothing. Instead of applying the law, he furiously attacks President Duda, accusing him of virtually everything. This is not the first time Tusk has destroyed a president who is not submissive to him. He previously took such actions against the late Lech Kaczynski. I don't want to use too strong words, but Poland, a big country, a very difficult context, and a president of Poland who sends the case of deputies, who are not really deputies, to the court, which does not actually exist, in order to create confusion and such a constant sense of instability. This is something unacceptable. Just a few months ago, Tusk's people were saying that no one who is currently in power today is responsible for the chaos. Well, realistically, Tusk is in power, the chaos is there, and they say that the problem is in President Duda. The system that has formed, the majority system, is responsible. Never since 1989 has there been such a destruction of Polish statehood. And to quote Donald Tusk, and this is something absolutely unacceptable. Adrian Borecki, Telewizja Republika.